Holiday. Boys, circa 1980. You want to see my playgirls? I hide them between the floor and the bottom dresser drawer. They would shock the hell out of my mom and dad. Tell me about your lovers. I won't get bored or jealous, really. Are they good looking? Do you have pictures? I got a collection, 6 Billie Holiday postcards. Her mouth reminds me of that song, Strange Fruit. It's like she's hiding something with that big flower. Here's a card I keep with her. 2 guys embracing, their faces in the hollow of each other's shoulder, like they're drinking something sacred. Deathbed. She records Lady in Satin in a Metropolitan Hospital bed, lying on, covered by stiff, sterile sheets, chanting with her half-eaten larynx, liver, heart. Ray Ellis orchestrates her useless treatment. A priest hears her vital penance. The NYPD posts an armed seraph outside her door to stop the anti-jazz demon from shitting on the rights. The anointment, the communion, the confession, and I'd give every song I know to hear. Post-production. One night in the autumn of '72, they came home from a movie theater in Indy, slightly perceptibly changed. They talked about the film for days, and within a week the soundtrack was turning slow and dark with fake flames under a plastic log on the family room stereo. I was 8, not ready to make the leap from Donnie to Billie, although the singers lay together on a carpet sample in front of the fireplace. The scrubbed Mormon face in the deep brown square embossed with Art Deco, framing an uplifted golden arm that bore handcuffs and a pearl bracelet, and held a golden mic aloft, daring anything that might live up there to so much as cough. Lady Liberty, the lady in the lake, lady sings the blues and seems to forget, as her dilettante audience does, that she was once a girl singing jazz. Why were my parents so taken? What was happening in their singleness, their dualness, their country in '72? Post-mortem. I had a dream that all these poets evoking Billie's delicate, enduring addictions, all these ambitious young jazz tigresses stalking her songs, backing them into state-of-the-art studios disguised as alleys, to sink their melismatic fangs into the immortal melodies. Even the fans innocently delighting in the complete Columbia recordings, hurtling across the plains in minivans, inching along the 405 to uninspiring 9-to-5s. All were poking her ever-waking corpse that longs to sleep. Melt the vinyl, delete the iTunes files, pluck the gardenias from your ears. They glance at me baffled. She digs it, little poet, they defend. Closing time. But he wasn't into Diana Ross, and the soundtrack was sluggish with dialogue. It was Glenn Campbell, Neil Diamond, Ferrante, and Teicher who watched from the left and right side of the entertainment center when he lay like a sunbather on his stomach on the shag carpet, and I walked unsteadily from the small of his back to the valley between his shoulder blades. A tightrope walker, or I thought later, when I was more worldly, a geisha. Fear of falling, fear of causing harm, fear of the optics of conquest. Dateline. 15 years before my parents were not shocked. They already knew. My coming out merely unblocked their unconditional river. It was like the breaking of a log jam, the logs knocking excitedly against each other, coming to rest in a bay, quietly rocking. 2 years since Janice stopped screaming. 1 year since Morrison stopped growling and squirming, and Hendrix went to kiss a sky that paled beside his earthly heaven. All 3 aged 27. 20 years before Big Pharma wooed doctors with, ooh, what a little moonlight can do. Before moonlight found unknown Janices, Jimmies, and Jims, and shone through them till they were nothing but light. Before Mom shocked me with her empathy for those she had been trained to call worthless. Sorrow that started, maybe, with a movie about a singer she had never heard or even heard of. A lifetime since her son taught her to recognize that voice, that style. Coda. The fantasy of making love or just getting a guy off while Eleanor Fagan boasted, "I've got that man crazy for me," or "he isn't true, he beats me too," has always been a long shot. Guys she excites don't excite me. Guys who excite me complain, "Turn that shit off." Marvin once tapped on the back door around midnight while Strange Fruit was being dragged through the cassette player. I poked pause before opening the door. I didn't want my white guilt caught naked. Archive. Ben Webster, Benny Carter, Teddy Wilson, Bunny Berrigan, her orchestra, her all-stars. All the variations and all the personnel can be found online, or in a biography at your local library, or in 1,000 hotels whose shadows outshine neon. The players tell their life stories, which are only loosely connected with their lives, to themselves, to each other, to smokers, drinkers, and talkers, to recording apparatus audiences that don't exist anymore, and their offspring waiting off stage. They are all about survival. They are acts of survival. The clarity of the late recordings is part of their seduction. The distortion of the early recordings can't be parted from their truth. I love my man, I'm a liar if I say I don't. I love my man, I'm a liar if I say I don't. I won't quit my man, I'm a liar if I say I won't. I have been your slave ever since I was your babe. I'm kneeling at the gym. I have been your slave ever since I was your babe. I like to watch you swim, but before I'll be your dog, I will see you in the grave. They really take their toll. My man wouldn't give me no breakfast, give me no dinner, squawked about my supper, had the nerve to lay a matchbox on my clothes. I didn't have so many, but I had a long ways to go. Didn't have so many, but I had a long way. I ain't good looking and my hair's not curled. At the pub, agreed to be his scrub. I ain't good looking and my hair's not curled. Like Superman before the world began. My daddy gave me something gonna take me through this world. Tonight, there is no kryptonite. Some men like me 'cause I'm happy, some because I'm snappy. Some men call me honey, thinking I got money. Some tell me, Timmy, baby, you're built for speed. Put that all together, I'm everything a good man needs.